Hey guys, it's Tyler with the Bears Den, and today I wanted to answer some questions that incoming freshmen typically have about going to Missouri State or starting college in general. I personally am a first-generation college student, and I was lucky to have an older sister who went to Missouri State before me, so I was able to ask her a lot of questions, but she didn't live in the dorms, so there were a lot of things that I had questions about, and I looked to YouTube to answer those questions. So the first question is, what was the most intimidating thing about starting college? I started college during COVID. My first semester of college was August of 2020, so that in itself was extremely intimidating, but thankfully we don't have to worry about that as much now as we did back in 2020. So I would say for those of you who are about to start college, the thing that would be the most intimidating is probably just getting used to the workload that college is. College is really nothing like high school was, at least for me it wasn't. I never had homework in high school, like at all. And I have way more homework than I ever imagined I would have. What helped me most with that is getting a planner. I had classes 5 days a week freshman year, and that was a lot to get adjusted to. It's very different from high school. You know, you go to high school for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, but you are also given time in class to work on things, whereas in college you do not have time in class, and you may have a class 3 days a week, but each day is a lecture where you are learning new material. The next question is, will I get lost on campus? Specifically MSU, I'm gonna say no, but that also depends on how directionally challenged you are. Every building on campus is on, you know, Google Maps or Apple Maps or whatever you use. So I looked at my schedule and I found each of the buildings that I had classes in before classes actually started. And that way I knew how long it took to get to those buildings and also kind of where they were. The next question is, what is worth getting in regards to meal plans, books, and materials? So as far as meal plans go, everyone who lives in a residence hall is required to purchase a meal plan. You can get unlimited meals a week for $1,514 a semester. You can get 19 meals a week for $1,414 a semester. You can get 14 meals a week for $1,389 a semester, and 10 meals a week for $1,371 a semester. I did the 14 meals a week both years that I lived on campus, and that was plenty for me, and I usually had some meals left over. It's important to know that you can start out the semester by buying the 10 meals a week or 14 meals a week plan, and you can always, anytime throughout the semester, increase your meal plan. You cannot decrease your meal plan after the first 3 weeks of classes. Textbooks are kind of tricky because I have had a lot of classes where a textbook has been required and I haven't read it. I've wasted a lot of money on textbooks. It just makes me nervous to not buy a textbook that a professor says is required for the course. I've had some friends recommend waiting until like 2 or 3 weeks into classes to decide whether you're gonna buy a textbook or not. As far as like school supplies for college, I would try to buy like the bare minimum because you just won't need as many school supplies as you did in high school. In high school, I had a binder for every class and a notebook for every class and all kinds of pens and pencils and whatnot. This semester, I have gotten by with 1 binder and 1 notebook. I highly recommend getting Post-it notes and highlighters though, because those will come in handy. The next one is how to get involved. I will link a page on Missouri State's website about student organizations in the description box below. Missouri State has over 300 student organizations. The first ones that come to mind are like Hall Council, Residence Hall Association, Student Activities Council, Traditions Council. They've got so many student organizations, and there really is a place for everyone. So I mentioned I'm the president of 2 student organizations. One of them is Kappa Delta Pi, which is an honor society for education majors, and the other one is Bears Teach Elementary, which is a group for elementary ed majors at Missouri State. And I have loved being a part of both of those groups, and it's been a really great way to connect with other MSU students, particularly those who are in the same degree program as I am. I was the vice president of Hammond's Hall Council my freshman year and the president of Hammond's Hall Council my sophomore year, and I highly recommend Hall Council. It's a great way to get involved within the residence halls. It's kind of like student council, but just for your building. The next question was how to manage time. I kind of touched on that earlier. I made an entire video about my time management system, and I will put that in the little card that's up at the top somewhere. The next one is how to make money as a student. I found that the restaurant industry for me is the most lucrative industry within the hours that I can work. So working a job where you receive tips is really beneficial during college because you may not be able to work 8-hour days, 4 days, 5 days a week. But if you can work, you know, 2 or 3 shifts a week and make tips, you will be making more money in less time. The thing that you also have to consider is you're gonna have bad nights and you're gonna have great nights. So it's not consistent, but it has been a reliable income for me. I also substitute teach, which is a great source of income as far as being a college student goes. In Springfield Public Schools, I get $120 a day, and the surrounding districts typically pay $100 a day for substitute teaching. Substitute teaching is a very reliable source of income. You know what your hours are gonna be and you know exactly what you're gonna get paid. And the other thing that's good about substitute teaching is you pick your own schedule. And I also make money for making the YouTube videos, so that's pretty cool. I suggest working on campus if you can, because the bosses of the on-campus jobs understand that you are a student and they understand that that comes first. The next question is, what are online classes like? And the answer to this question can vary depending on who you ask. I personally do not care for online classes. I don't typically learn in an online format. Zoom classes are not as bad as classes that are fully online. What I struggle with, particularly with online classes, is not necessarily getting a good grade, but actually thoroughly learning the content that I'm being taught. I don't retain a lot of information through reading. And typically online classes are read a textbook of a chapter and do a discussion board every week. And that works for some people, and if that works for you, that is awesome, and I am so jealous of you, but that just does not work for me. The last question is, what is Springfield like, and is there anything to do in Springfield? There's a pretty big population here. There's a lot of traffic, a lot of road work happening all the time. But there's also a ton of things to do. You will never run out of places to eat in Springfield, that is for sure. We also have the Wonders of Wildlife Museum and Aquarium. There is a zoo here. Our downtown area also has a lot of unique local businesses, and MSU is really close to downtown. So when I did live on campus, I walked to downtown quite a few times, and there's plenty of stuff to do. We have like a Topgolf, we have several mini golf places. There is an Andy B's here. There's a lot of stuff to do. Springfield's nice. I wouldn't want to live here forever, but I do think it's a really great place to go to college, and I am very grateful for the time that I have spent here. That is the end of the video, so thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.